What's up, my folks? I hope y'all are doing great this morning. I want to tell every one of you dads out there, happy Father's Day. I got to call my dad after this video, and probably the last Father's Day I get to tell him. But, you know, he's not doing real good. But for you guys that do know my dad, you might want to go by there. He's still at the place he's always been. Boys up in Jayville. He would appreciate it. But, anyhow, and I want to thank you guys that are donating to the cause. I mean, you guys are, man, it makes me so happy that y'all are on my channel and y'all are putting out like that. Y'all are real class acts, man. Y'all are real good guys. And I'm sure most of y'all understand what the process is for us, because it's not only for us. It ain't going to save Randall's dogs. I've seen some comments about, I hope they save Randall's dog. It's not going to save Randall's dogs. It's going to save all of our dogs, okay? Randall's already fallen on the sword. Them dogs are either put down already or they will be by tomorrow morning. Yeah, they're gonna put them dogs down regardless. That was the whole game plan. They knew they had no case, but they could get them dogs the way these laws are set up, so they could, you know, because you always have a hearing, a forfeiture of assets hearing before you have a trial. And what they figured out is, look, we'll get these dogs, and then by the time it's 4, 5, 6 months before you go to a forfeit of assets trial, you know, we've done accumulated, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 worth of payment they want to charge you for keeping your dogs in the cage, not walking them, throwing them a little bit of Old Roy and slimy green water, you know. So they're going to charge you. They're jack up the charges where no one can get them. And then they're going to say, well, you got 5 days to pay it. If you can't pay it, we're just going to adopt them out or put them down. I guarantee you that the lion's share of those dogs will be killed. Just know that. And this should upset every dog lover. Okay. These dogs are wonderful animals, just wonderful animals. I'm out here with little Toro. Okay. It's a great little dog, man. I really like this dog a lot. You know, we've got offspring off of him already. Some older offspring that we really, really like. Okay. And this is the dog that we're going to be putting over to Artie bitch right here. Barbie just brought him down here and left him for me to use to breed with. You know, that's the thing about when you have a good rapport with people and people are able to trust you and they know you're not going to do no shady shit with their animals and you're going to take care of them and all. That's the way all of you guys should be, stand up guys like that. So your doors in these dogs will open so much wider. But, you know, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew how much we appreciate it, man. Everything. I think we got like $800 or $900 already in the GoFundMe, and several of you guys have sent cash apps to me personally, which I didn't want to do that because I don't want to pay taxes on that money, because I'm not using that money. It's not for me, and all that money is going to go to the attorney. As soon as we get some more up, we're going to cut him a check and start paying him, so to get him on the roll. But we've already me and Barbie have already promised that man he's going to get paid, even if we got to take out a personal loan, a signature loan. He's going to get his damn money. We want to make sure this goes through. But I do appreciate you guys helping us, man, because we're poor boys. I don't know if y'all know that, but I mean, you know, I had to scratch hard for a living. You know what I mean? It's a hard scratch life, but you know, we're going to do it. That's how important it is to these dogs. These dogs are my family. I love these dogs. That's all I do guys, is hunt and mess with my dogs and hunt with my dogs. That's it. That's all I do. I don't care much about nothing else. I mean, I'm to the point in my life. That's the biggest joy I get, besides being with the grandkids and hanging out with family, you know, is my dogs, you know, hanging out with my dogs. I spend more time with my dogs than I do anything. I'm always out here, you know. I was going to take little man here for a walk this morning. Come here, Fernando. Come here, buddy. You ain't gonna go in there and don't be going in there. We want to see how pretty you are. But you know, it started raining on us, so I just walked him out, let him use the bathroom, and put him up. But we're gonna breed him. We're gonna get him stuck again today, and probably try to breed him all the way through and get a good litter off of him. But you know, I've always said, guys, this has been no secret, and I've learned this very, very young in the dogs, okay, that you're going to get your best hunting dogs and catch dogs from your best old pit stock. Okay? That's the truth. I've seen it time and time again. The old pit stock makes the best performance animals. They're the people before us that sacrificed all those years before us, they've already put out the time and the love and the work involved to make these dogs what they are today. We're just a heartbeat in these animals. You know what I mean? Even if you got 100 years in them, you're just a heartbeat in actually the lifespan of these animals, how long they've been around. The guys that have done it right before us and put in the hard work and sweat, blood, and tears, they've given you an animal, a foundation to work with. And the best old game pit stock has always, to me, made the best hunting stock. That's why I'm always adamant about trying to find the good game old pit stock and start with that, and then mold it into what you want, because you're going to get your gameness, you're going to get your ability, you're going to get your courage, you're going to get, you know, all that stuff that you need, your durability, your lungs, your mouth, you know, the stuff that you really need to make good catch dogs. And that's what these dogs here are. Now, these dogs come from a different country, so they're able to carry on that tradition, you know. And I've seen some comments about the El Toro dog, the Pepe dog. You know, I don't pay attention much to online stuff, and I don't let my guys go online and post shit. I don't really want that. I don't even like people putting peds online. When people do that, it really ticks me off. I kind of really will. I really won't have nothing to do with people if they start doing that anymore. I just won't even talk to them anymore, because people don't understand that you can't go, hey, Google, what about this dog? You're going to get a bunch of bullshit online, okay? And people love to parrot and sit there and talk about something they heard, like they were there or whatever, and call dogs down dogs. Man, I've heard every dog line in the world be called shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even like it. I don't like to fall into that trap. I truly believe that the Facebook and the Formies and all them guys, and you know, them, that kind of mentality that get out there and boisterous and all that talk shit, that's going to be the down to these dogs. That's going to be the end of these dogs. I truly believe that. You know, like even the Sporting Dog Journal, man, I had a bad taste in my mouth for that thing. Okay? I mean, I used to be like everybody else, trying to put my name in there. Everyone loves to get in there and see their name and see everything, that's the report and all that stuff. That's the way it used to be. You know, we come from a different time. And these dogs that's what it was about. It was about the pit. And, you know, you might look up from me in the pit. There might be a sheriff right there. There might be a judge right there, a preacher right there, an attorney right there. I mean, it was just accepted a lot more than it is now. I mean, we didn't think there was anything wrong with it, because, you know, we took care of our dogs. You know, even though after they took great aftercare and healed them dogs up, it was a different time. I mean, the dogs were very, very respected. They weren't looked at like a deck of cards or a pair of dice. They really weren't. They were really looked at like the gladiators and the warriors they were, and the athletes they were, and they were treated as such, okay? I don't want people to think they were just treated like a throwaway trash bag, because they weren't. I mean, they really weren't. I mean, people were very humanely the way they did things. Come here, Tora. Come here, bud. Hang on. I know you're like, man, I'm tired of being I'm not in a beauty pageant, buddy. But, you know, so, you know, you're going to hear all this bullshit in today's time online about people just hear something, see something that they online, and they want to repeat it and talk shit about it so they make themselves feel better. I've already told you this. You know, I've been doing this shit on here for 5 years now, okay? I just realized, a friend of mine just said, man, you've been on, it feels like just a couple days, you know what I mean? It's went that fast. But, you know, and I've always preached that. Stay off of that shit. It is nothing but garbage. You cannot learn about these dogs online. You may miseducate yourself. The only thing you're going to learn about messing with these dogs is getting out here and doing it. Getting out here at 6:30 in the morning, cleaning up after these dogs, handling these dogs, working with these dogs, and living with these dogs. That's how you learn these dogs. You have to, because you might, everybody's cup of coffee is made a little different, okay? Everybody likes a little different flavor. Just because some guy that you think is a good dog man, because he's been online pumping his shit up for 20 years, you might not like his stock that much. Whereas the guy that you don't even hear about, he might give you something that just is out of this world, because he's out there living it, doing it. I don't know how some of these guys that stay on 24/7 don't have these dogs, because it takes me a long time throughout the day to take care of them. It's in between storms. It's always getting up early. It's getting in there, working late, working at night when it's hot. It's always a lot of work, and people don't really understand that. What we put into these dogs. This is a bitch right here I'm breeding to. She's got some mud on her. I just put her back in there. It's real wet outside there, but she's a great little dog. That's a Eli Weirjack bitch, and I really like her. We're fixing to breed them here in a minute, and then I'm gonna put her back up in the skybox. But these should be some really nice dogs, guys. I think they will. But you know, that's the only way you're gonna learn about these dogs. You can't just educate yourself by reading books. Now you can get some knowledge, like learn how to put a chain out together, learn how to keep your dogs, you know, on a collar. You can learn what the bloodlines are, but I mean, actually real knowledge of what they're about. You're going to have to put your hands in it. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to own them. You're going to have to live with it. You know, I had a comment this morning. It kind of pissed me off. I didn't understand what the dude was saying about, I would like to donate, but I want to fact check this guy. First of all, bud, you can't Google fact check or Reddit or Cored or whatever they call that shit on Dogmen. The only way you're going to fact check Dogmen is to experience that Dogman, to be around him, to learn him. Because there's a lot of people that I thought were good guys and cool guys. And later on, as I watch them and hear them and see them, I say, oh, man, this motherfucker ain't nothing but a used car salesman. He's just trying to pump his shit up as the best in the world. Like I try to tell everybody, there is no best in the world. Your dog might be the best dog that you think in the world for 15 minutes, but there's another one coming around the pike that's going to be better. I just assure you of it. It always happens that way. You know, people always ask me who I got my best dogs from in my life. Man, it's hard to say, but I would say this, that you guys probably never heard of them. I doubt most of you, unless you're older, you know, and understand things, and the dogs never heard of Paul McDaniels. You never heard of Ray Ramsey. You know, hell, I got some great dogs from Charlie Floyd. You know what I mean? I've gotten good dogs from Ed Farron. People like to knock Ed Farron. I got dogs they sent up there and got a trio, and I got them dogs, and they were great dogs. You know, it's your individual dogs make you great dogs. And like I tell people, the best dogs I've ever had were either given to me or I put together myself. You know what I mean? That's just the way it's always worked for me. And you ain't going to get shit given to you dicking around, talking, laughing. You know, a lot of people just like drama. Oh, I like to see the drama in the dog. Well, that's not what these dogs are supposed to be about. The old timers that gave me my best dogs, they didn't even talk shit about nobody. Nobody. I mean, you know, like I said, Ray never talked. He just would tell you straight up. People would go in there and talk about this dog or that dog, and he'd say, yeah, I got some dogs. Y'all want to see some bulldogs, come over here. Same with Paul. Paul had great dogs, and everyone would talk shit about them. You know, it's just the way it was. I mean, but yeah, I mean, them old timers that I started out with, they gave me my first real good bulldogs, you know, and didn't even ask me for nothing. Well, I traded with them. We traded back then, you know. Ray was into making them knives, and I found an old sawmill in the woods, and I brought a bunch of them old round saw blades to him. And that shit was work. I mean, I'd have been better off giving him money. That shit was work. We had to walk through the woods 2 miles of them big heavy fuckers. But, you know, I brought a trailer load of them to him. And, shit, I could get anything I want. He just loved me to death after that. And I wasn't asking for nothing. I did it out of the kindness of my heart. And he gave me stuff out of the kindness of his heart. Come here, Toro. Come here, bud. I know it. I know it. You ready to go for another walk, ain't you? But, you know, just like with this dog, I seen a comment about this one that Pepe El Toro, the cur. I don't know where people come up with this shit. I mean, if you weren't there, you don't know the story. I know the story. And I mean, I don't know how anyone could call him a cur. There's a lot of shady shit that goes down in there. I'm just going to tell you that right now. There's a lot of shady shit that goes down there. And it's kind of hard. You know, there's rules in these dogs. And if you got a shitty referee that's not doing his job, things ain't going to work out for you. You know, the referee should call the match when the dog is DOA. If the referee doesn't call the match when the dog is DOA, I mean, and you touch your dog, they foul you out. You think that it's done, and you go touch your dog, then they scream foul on you, then that's your loss. I mean, that's not a cur, guys. You know, that's why, I mean, I don't even pay attention to online shit. You know, I've heard people call Jeep cur. I've heard, you know, Bully Son, he was just an old rank cur. They don't understand the dogs. You know what I'm saying? When you got a blood count of like 28 or 26, that dog ain't going, I mean, everyone keeps springing about, oh, a game dog will never stop. They will all quit on the right day. You bring their blood count down like that, and I assure you, they're going to hang it up. They're going to die. I mean, but if they have a chance to hang it up, they're going to hang it up. The problem is people didn't know how to make handles. That's the thing nowadays. But back then, they would get a handle, and you're not going to be able to come. That motherfucker's blind already. He's blind. He can't hear. He can't think. He don't know what's going on around him. That's the difference. You know, people call dogs that went over 2 hours. Oh, that's a cur. You weren't there. You don't know the situation. You know, they don't understand these are flesh and bone. Come here, El. Come here, buddy. He's going to stay in there. He don't like being in that water. Come here. You done drinking in that water and dripping it out of his mouth and stepping in it. He don't like that shit. He's a well-kept dog. You can tell. He likes to be in there on them chips and that dry end. But, you know, understand that. I can tell real quick when someone says shit like that. I can tell they're either green or they're an idiot. You know what I mean? Just like with these dogs that, you know, somebody will come down. I remember one back in the day, you know, people talking about this dog over another one. I seen it. And believe me, it was nothing like what's coming out now. Okay? That's why I don't pay much attention. And you gotta understand, if people don't have character, you gotta read through it. You gotta be able to have, God gave you eyes to see and ears to hear, you know. And I think a lot of this technology that we got today now, I know I do the YouTube, but that's it. That's it. I ain't giving nobody really a platform. I ain't going to get on there and bump gums against somebody that doesn't know shit. I'm not going to argue with people that can't even read a pedigree. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to do it. And it's a waste of time, and I got too much other stuff to do. So, you know, understand that, you know. As far as like fact checking me, I've never lied to you guys. I got nothing to lie to you about. I've been in these dogs a long time. I don't know if you were talking about me or Randall or Joe, but between us, we got well over 100 years experience, okay? And especially if you get the other guys that I run, there's hundreds of years experience in these dogs, and I listen to everybody what they got to say. Now, some people, you know, I've tried to be friends with, you know, but if they start that shit, you know, that bullshit, I can tell right off the rip, man, hey, look, this is some bullshit here. There's things that they do, like dry stitching. I mean, all that bullshit that comes on in these dogs. I don't want no part of it. I don't. You know, I've seen a lot of people knock old Tom Garner. Come here, bud. You know, I've had some comments on here like Tom just a fucking joke. Well, I tell you something. The first dogs I seen from Tom, these boys in St. Augustine, Florida, was the same way. This was in the early 90s. And it was the same way. They were talking shit. Them dogs ain't worth a shit. I think them dogs came down there and was back in the truck going back home without a scratch in about 20 minutes each. You know, I mean, you know, so people talk that, but the fact of the matter is I have seen dogs come down the pike from Tom. I own dogs with Tom's blood in them, and I assure you, they're very good bulldogs. The same way with this Pepe El Toro stuff. We have dogs off of him. I've handled and messed with dogs off of. They are the epitome of what you want in a bulldog. They have some really wonderful traits. They're really easy handling too, and I love that in a dog. They're very good dogs. Just like this guy. Come here, Peppy. Come here, buddy. Come back over here. He's gonna get tired of me calling him over here. Come on. Come on. You ain't got to sit back there and there. I mean, this dog's just a good dog, man. All the way around. Even if he was, this dog will hammer a hog. Hammer one. There's been, and for anyone says, oh, there's been other eyes that seen it besides me. I mean, when a dog like this, his first time catching a hog, goes in and breaks a hog's leg. I mean, you can tell he's got some good shit going on up in his brain. You know what I mean? I mean, he had to be schooled out to know not to go into the legs and chest and shit, but that's because that breeding, that's what I'm trying to say. It's giving you a real good foundation to work with. The schooling is your part. You have to school him and teach him what you want him to do, but it's there in him, you know. And I had some questions about what do they do if they start fighting? You don't let them fight. You don't let them fight each other, okay? Because if they ever start fighting each other, you got a problem. You don't got to catch dog no more. You know, you have to do single catches. Some of them you got to do that with. Some, I ain't gonna lie, some of them you just got to use as your sight catch dog. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but if you let that dog learn at a fairly young age, you know, 17 months, that's because he's going to be hot as fish grease about them most of the time. That them hogs are there. That's what you want him to do. He'll learn that. I mean, they're not stupid animals. Some of them are, but you got to use that. You got to cross that dumb shit out, and there's intelligence in them. But and you teach them that they love a hog, man. You can get these dogs on a hog, and it all changes their mindset. That's what they want to do. They love it. It's like, hell yeah, let's do that, you know. And you can school him out a few times, and then you got a good catch dog, a very good finished out catch dog. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with you know, having one that will fight another dog. You can break him of it. You can teach him, but you don't never let him. If you want a good catch dog, you don't let him start that shit. Just don't let your dogs fight. You know, if they do, you scold them and you get onto their ass. You know, that's the only thing you can do. Man, this weather's terrible. I've been trying to do some building around here, and got to do everything under here. It's cramped quarters. It sucks, but you know. Anyway, guys, I just want to drop this video and show my appreciation to you guys, man. I really think y'all have done a really good job so far, and we're getting there. And like this bitch here is a great little dog. People are also asking about, do we use cut gear? I do sometimes. You know what I mean? Unless I'm messing around right here at the house with something, I know what I'm messing with. But even that cut gear, it ain't going to stop their eyes from getting poked out with sticks. It's not going to stop their legs from getting all fucked up in the, you know, it's thick woods here. I don't know if y'all realize that, but you can't see 10 feet in front of you in a lot of places that we go. And there's briars and sticks. I mean, it ain't going to stop that. It ain't going to stop scratches on their face and face damage and things like that. And muzzle, you know, they just rip right through that shit. So there really is no way to get around that. Just take care of them, man. It's just like, you ought to look at us when we get done. I am fucked up, man. I got scars all over me. I look tattooed on my arms and legs. I mean, especially when I'm real dark from the summer, you can see that shit. I look terrible. You know, that's from fucking around in them woods my whole life, you know. But you know what? They love it, and I love it, and I'll take them little scratches, you know, to enjoy my life the way I want to. But anyway, folks, y'all take care. Y'all keep on bulldogging. Y'all stay safe, and thank y'all very much. We love you guys, man. I really do. I love you guys.